Welcome everyone to another MHD video, and this time we're talking about Anthem and what we'd love to see added to it. The state of Anthem is very much in limbo right now. This is good, and it could also be very bad. Good in the sense of something like Star Wars Battlefront 2, where we've seen only a very marginal amount of content, yet being a live service game that could completely turn around with how quickly developers are updating Anthem. If you look at, for example, Star Wars Battlefront 2 in the state when it first launched and compare it to how it is now, it's a completely fleshed out game with lots of game modes and lots of content. So let's all hope this limbo will turn out good for Anthem. In the meantime, I think the team should really add an additional game mode, something to keep players in game while between content drops. I, for one, do not want to see PvP to be introduced, so this idea is a happy medium. And yes, you are seeing Mass Effect 3 gameplay. The reason for that is just to give you a visual of kind of what I'm talking about. So this idea is not a new stronghold, but something along the lines of Mass Effect 3 multiplayer or the Mass Effect Andromeda Apex missions. The point of this is to showcase a little bit of how hostile the world is and showcase the freelancers and sentinels performing their job duties of protecting the fort. And as we look here at the fort in Anthem, just look at it. It's this massive structure that just has so much potential that we could see in the game, yet we see nothing yet. So those who are familiar with BioWare will remember the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer and Mass Effect Andromeda and even Dragon Age Inquisition that had this separate game mode of kind of doing your own little thing outside of the single story campaign. I think this would be a fantastic idea to allow those who are not just in the grind of free play or doing a stronghold that kind of want a little bit more of a almost PvP feel. This would be a happy medium for them. The general idea is that we have to fight through waves of enemies, and let's just say 6 for example. You could have multiple enemies. Factions could be something like wildlife. It could be Dominion. It could be Scars. It could be different types of Titans. All that could be there to give us a little bit better idea of what it's like to be a freelancer and a sentinel protecting that fort. One thing you could introduce is multiple mechanics between each wave. One example of that is one wave could have an enemy faction that took out a couple of Striders, and you have to reactivate it while holding off invaders attacking the fort. Maybe some Dominions stole some tech and you have to stop the thief before they get away from the fort. Or they destroyed a few of the turrets outside the wall. Go repair them before the Dominion overruns you. Hold down a defensive position with 2 teammates while taking an area. There's so much potential in this new game mode. I think it would be great if Anthem added something like this. It would allow us casuals to still enjoy the game without having to feel like you gotta grind if you're gonna come in. Now I know there's an update coming out tomorrow, which is gonna be fantastic for the game and add new content, so hopefully we'll see something along those lines added down the road. So BioWare, if you're listening, this would be a fantastic game mode I think that would have a lot of depth to the game. Anyways guys, remember, when in doubt, blow it up.